CFM Radio. We are back.
It is once again Wednesday, my dudes, and we are back for video game, music, and news. What's up, Vector?
What's up, Drix? Video game, music, and news, and indeed, we have a good bit of it. We've been a little absent, took a little bit of a break, but it doesn't really matter because this week we've got a couple of crazy articles of news that may have slipped under the radar for a few of you. Everybody knows the whole deal about Xbox, Drix, but I keep hearing the question, why, Drix, why is Xbox like this? Drix, why is Xbox? It's such a terrible place.
Why does Microsoft do the things that they do?
What is going on?
Explain like I'm 5.
Hey, you know what, Drix? I don't know if I can explain like you're 5, but we're definitely going to try to get to, maybe not the bottom, because I have to really emphasize that Microsoft itself and Xbox are being very tight-lipped about this whole thing. They're being very shady, let's say. They're making moves behind the scenes, small changes, doing changes that are documented, changes that are not documented. One of the famous undocumented changes of this last Game Pass price hike roundup was no more, and this was a stealth disadvantage. They took away the discounts that you would get on DLCs and other content that, such as in-game currency, that you would get from games that are featured on Game Pass.
Wow. Okay, yeah, less is more, I guess, right?
Very much so. Hey, you know what? You want that day one? It's gonna cost you your discount.
Blech, I guess.
And you know what, Trix? Like I said, there hasn't been anything. Everybody's been pretty tight-lipped, but we here at CFM Radio, we did a little bit of digging, and we got you the numbers.
Yeah, we're doing the math, so you don't have to.
We're doing the math, and you know what, Drix? I gotta admit, it's not complicated math. It's rather elementary when the rubber hits the road, but when you hear the numbers that we are going to tell you, dear viewer, your jaw may just hit the floor.
Yeah, we'll try to pick that up for you and explain away.
Not just that, we might have a little bit of trouble picking up that jaw because our old buddy, if you are a millennial like Drix and I, you no doubt remember the public television Dateline NBC classic To Catch a Predator.
Oh yeah, our buddy Chris Hansen just really sitting him down and having a nice talk before they get carried away.
Having a nice talk, and you know what? He wants to have a nice talk with his friends over at Roblox, but instead he went to CrimeCon Denver this last week. And he went in front of a crowd to talk about the dangers of a game, Drix, a game that many viewers, if you have kids, if you don't know the game, your kids do, like Chris Hansen says, talking about Roblox.
Yeah, and you might not like the sign of Chris Hansen talking about Roblox, but he put up like an hour-long video, having a nice little roundtable discussion with somebody we may have mentioned in a previous CFM Radio story.
Indeed, Michael Schlepp, the whistleblower from Roblox, who was so rudely banned from the platform after blowing the whistle on these games with explicit content that hosted on a platform that advertises itself to children.
Yeah, hey, can we clean up the community a little bit? Gets slapped with the ban hammer.
We're going to jump into that a little bit later, and also at the tail end of the show, we're going to we don't just talk about the bad here. We're going to give you a review on Digimon Story, the Time Stranger. I've been playing it. It's been pretty good. The gaming industry at large, Drix, has been pretty high on this game. I'm not gonna lie. As a longtime Digimon fan, I was looking forward to this a lot, and I think people may be interested in what I have to say.
Oh yeah, you're definitely my number one Digimon guy.
But before we jump into anything like that, Drix, we are going to take a short break. Let this sweet little haunting chiptune beat take over a little bit. And I think I know what it is, but I want to hear it from you, Drix. Is this track what I think it is?
Right now, we are hearing Kraid's Lair from Metroid for the NES. A little bit of a stereo version.
Metroid on the NES, Kraid's Lair, CFM Radio.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back with video game news.
Yeah, we'll have some Clay Fighter coming up for you next, so stick around.
CFM Radio. Video game news.
CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back, and just like in your Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, we're going to talk some numbers a la Microsoft.
Indeed, Drakes, indeed, it is time to break it down, because I believe everybody by now has seen the headlines and in all of their talking through one another confusion where major retailers are pulling out, getting rid of their Xbox stock. Costco confirmed Xbox stock on clearance. Sam's Club confirmed following suit. Xbox stock on clearance. GameStop dunking on the Xbox Game Pass price increase, saying, guys, we're still selling our cards for $20. Screw them.
Yeah, you know it's a bad sign when GameStop doesn't want to carry your console anymore.
I mean, they'll still carry the console, Drix, but they're undercutting your Game Pass rate.
Psh, yeah, we're gonna keep it right where it's at, huh?
Shit. You know, it's crazy. I've never seen such a dog pile. This isn't even like what happened with Sega. Sega kind of bowed out gracefully. You know, they got a nice cushy little spot on the GameCube with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Like,
yeah,
you know, they went out with a little bit of gusto, right? No, they got a Panzer Dragoon game on the original Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Not Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like,
a little more honorable of a discharge.
Microsoft, they're kicking and screaming because, again, removed from retailers. Now, Drix, here we go. Let's break it down. The total cost of the Activision Blizzard purchase per the court filing is, let's see here, $75.4 billion on Form 10Q, United States Securities and Exchange Commission, from the Microsoft Corporation, 9111444442 IRS ID. So there's that. And the breakdown, we have the breakdown for this this form itself. All the links to all of this is in the description below. They break it all down. It goes into, like I said, about $75 billion for Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, that's a lot of change.
That's a lot of change. That's not counting the purchase of Bethesda.
Whew. Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't cheap either.
And that was the entirety of ZeniMax as well.
Jeez, yeah, just popping them up.
Yeah, just took them. They got the guys from Hi-Fi Rush. They got all those other studios, those indie studios. They've shut them all down since then. They put about remember Hi-Fi Rush? I do. That team is gone.
I never forgive them. That was an award-winning rhythm game too.
Yeah,
so.
A rhythm game. Fantastic game. One of the few games that nearly made you a believer in Game Pass.
Yeah, me personally too. Yeah.
So right now we're just looking at the total cost of the Activision Blizzard purchase, $75.4 billion. As reported, Game Pass annual revenue last year was $5 billion. Sarah Bond says that Game Pass is, quote, profitable. And so while that may be, right, year over year, $5 billion, you invest about $100 billion into Xbox and Game Pass as a brand, into this venture where you're telling everybody that you're making a new console, but your current console has a model that's undercutting the market, as explained by developers such as Larian.
Devaluing games.
Yeah, devaluing games, at the words of Bobby Kotick in court.
Yeah.
And now here's the big elephant in the room, and we're going to address it right now. The loss from Call of Duty being on Game Pass day one ended up being $300 million for Microsoft after the post-acquisition. And Drakes, we have to remember that last year's Call of Duty was the best-selling Call of Duty to date.
Wow.
And they still lost $300 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, people definitely opting into the monthly Game Pass subscription instead of paying full price for that last Call of Duty, huh?
Absolutely. And it did not end up being well for them, or working out well for them. But here's the thing. So what is Game Pass up against, you might ask? Before I answer that, if you're still listening to us, give me a like, give us a subscribe here at CFM Radio. We are here giving you the best video game news. And you know what? I don't know who else is going to tell you why, or who is going to tell you exactly what Game Pass is going up against internally. Because Drix, let's take it really quick before we go back. Let's take a trip back to CFM a few years back, or last year and a half ago, where Phil Spencer saying there is no world in which Starfield comes out and people sell their PlayStation 5s. Xbox lost the console war, and it was the worst generation to lose because gamers built their what?
Digital library,
and overwhelmingly chose PlayStation. Game Pass was the solution to that. Game Pass, they say Game Pass will succeed, or else they will what?
Exit the gaming industry.
So, and this was said in court when we were going over our coverage of the Activision Blizzard acquisition and the versus the FTC, or Microsoft in purchasing Activision Blizzard going up against the FTC, because they said that was a no-go. But that was
too much market share for you.
Too much. And here's the thing. Again, looks like it didn't work out for them. Back then, Phil Spencer was saying, hey, this is a business. We're focusing on building or growing the games market, growing the industry as a whole. It's not about Xbox. It's not about PlayStation. It's not about Nintendo. It's about the games, right? That's what Philly said.
Yeah, games and gamers.
I mean, never mind that he changed his tune pretty quickly after that, saying, hey guys, this is a fucking business, right? I'm running a business here. Like, I'm running.
They always do.
Listen, Microsoft has been generous in giving us all of this backing, but this is a business, and we're expected to get some output here, guys. So,
line only go up.
So, Phil Spencer, he's been a little bit shaky on this for the entire time, and here's what it's looking like. So, with a confirmed $80 billion in investment for the last fiscal year, Microsoft has been gathering alongside Xbox, building up their cloud and AI storage at the behest of their current CEO, Satya Nadella. And Drix, I gotta tell you, Microsoft Azure, which is the vehicle for this, is raking in $75 billion annually.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully that'll make up for the other Game Pass losses and stuff.
Well, here's the thing, Drix. We've got that was from Fortune, and now we've got Microsoft, the blog saying it's accelerating AI adoption for the U.S. government. And not just that, years back in 2021, I do believe, Microsoft was part of the Pentagon's deal, or the deal with the Department of Defense for a part of $9 billion for AI and cloud storage integration. And then Microsoft followed that up just this September by saying, hey, we're totally willing to give the United States about $100 million leeway with our cloud storage. We'll give them $100 million value.
Yeah, here's your storage space.
So, nothing has been said. In fact, both Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond have been surprisingly quiet in the wake of all of this backlash. Neither one of them was the one to give the announcement for the Game Pass price hike. That was some no-name intern. That was just some lady. I hope really she didn't get any harassment or anything. You know how people on the internet are. But you know, there's just been so little noise that Drix. I do believe that with Game Pass rumored to be plateauing, with a $100 billion investment that panned out in a $5 billion annual take-home revenue, with a Call of Duty, your marquee game in which you bought one of the biggest publisher developers in the industry for, came back to you at a $300 million loss in its best-selling year ever.
Yeah, that math don't math.
That math don't math, Trix. When Microsoft Azure, just cloud storage and AI, is over here raking in $75 billion annually.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can, for sustainability, pick it up in some other areas. But that would explain why some other people on the internet are saying, Microsoft will never see, they won't see their return on that investment in our lifetime, buying and closing all these studios.
Yeah, because, and here's the thing, people might ask, you might step back and ask, whoa, but why would you even look at it like this? The internal competition? Oh, come on, right? No. Phil Spencer told us himself, they expect a huge return. We run a business, and we have had a generous backing from Microsoft. Listen, his silence speaks volumes in the fact that he's not out here saying, hey guys, you know what, here's the deal, this is what's up, we fucked up. No, he's not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, because when push comes to shove, you can say whatever you want, but in reality, here's how Game Pass goes up against Azure. You're just not reaching that many users.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of gamers before you make it all back, right?
You're gonna run totally out. You're running out of users, and you could say whatever you want. Oh, gaming this, gaming that, high profile this, high profile that. Dude, it doesn't matter. In the attention economy, when TikTok is your main competition by admission of the game industry themselves. If you've been listening to CFM Radio, we told you about a month and a half ago that one of these Squaresoft guys or Square Enix guys came out and was like, dude, it's all about going up against short form content. Video game developers are just content creators now. He said that on an interview with Christopher Drake.
Yeah, we're worse.
It's one of those things where, listen, it's not even about the quality of the game per se. I mean, of course, the quality of the game adds to whether it breaches or penetrates a market, and then user retention, obviously. But if you are a game or a video game, and that is simply not how people engage with entertainment at this moment in time, they would rather give their engagement to Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or HBO Max or Netflix. That's what we're up against.
Yeah, where else will your eyes wander, and will your hands be on a controller?
Exactly. And that's why it goes up directly against Microsoft Azure. Because I'm sorry, everybody, but if the DoD comes a knocking and is like, hey, we need X amount of personnel and X amount of civilians to have jobs, that's a little bit more valuable than somebody paying $20 a month to play the latest game that doesn't even come out.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it,
So that's one of those things where when you hear people talk about video games or talk about the industry or talk about, oh man, this is going up against this, always keep it in the back of your mind, everybody. This industry and this entertainment medium that we love, by the admission of the people who run it, They say that it is the number one competitor to Netflix and TikTok.
Yeah, the attention economy definitely hitting
hard. And unfortunately, that means that games or things, ideas such as Xbox Game Pass either sink or swim, and truly, if they sink, they break. And that's what we're watching. It might be a slow descent, but make no mistake, the descent is there. Don't worry. I understand that the Xbox Rogue Ally got a 9 out of 10 from IGN, but I want you to drop a comment or say it in chat right now if you're gonna go buy one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know.
Let us know. If you're dropping $1,000, let us know.
Please. Also, let me have some.
Yeah, right. But, Drix, we're gonna jump right into some new releases. Because God knows Game Pass doesn't have a lot anymore.
Yeah, no. That well ran dry.
That well indeed ran dry. So, first up, and there's only a couple this week, because that's why we're going to jump in here and kind of get a bickety-bam, get it in and get it out. Because there is one game that kind of dominated the release schedule today, but here's one that looked interesting. This is Blood West.
Yeah, already loving the name. You know you're going to get some cowboys and some action, and it might get a little scary.
From the Steam page, quote, Weird West legends meet eldritch horror in Blood West, an immersive stealth FPS. Become the undead gunslinger, doomed to roam the barren lands until he manages to purge their curse, freeing his soul. 3 varied scenarios, perk-based character progression, and 20-plus hours of gameplay await you. And Drix, you might say, hey, hasn't this game been out? Isn't this an old game? You might be right, but it has only been on PC. It is now on console. Tomorrow, October 16th, that's Thursday, it will be out on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series console.
Sweet. Yeah, I was reading that they took a little bit of inspiration from like the classic Thief games, so like you'll get a good little bit of stealth in there. Plus, like the graphics look like a little older in like a really cool like artistic way. So this is definitely something to check out and also to put on your spooky game list.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, this definitely looks like a Halloween game stud. 20 plus hours of gameplay. You can probably get through it in a weekend. Perfect Halloween game.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get to playing.
But next up, and obviously the biggest release of the week, the thing that everything got out of the way from.
Yeah, the generational talent.
The generational talent. You could put this one right up there with FIFA and NBA and Madden. It's Pokemon Legends Z.
Pokemon. Yeah, I'm catch them.
From the eShop page, quote, discover an urban Pokemon adventure in a vibrant city full of Pokemon and possibilities and Pokemon Legends Z to A on NintendoSwitch. Explore Lumio City, unravel its secrets, discover mega evolved Pokemon, and face off against trainers in real time. Dynamic battles. And Drix, Pokemon Legends Z to A comes out tomorrow, Thursday, October 16th. Only on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah, I mean, even just based on the trailer, it looks like at least like a visual and graphics step up from the last Pokemon game.
Absolutely.
And pushing the Switch 2, environment.
I definitely think that a lot of people are like, oh man, these graphics don't look too great. But first of all, I'm not going to say any kind of like apologies or anything like that, but it is an urban environment. And the way that grass moves and the way that the water moves, I don't know, man. It looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, nice to be in a Pokemon City once again.
Yes, exactly. That is Pokemon Legends Z to A. I'm sure if you run to your nearest GameStop, people are lining up right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have a lot more. We have a lot more gaming news to come into, and our review of Digimon Story Time Stranger. You could call it the direct competition to Pokemon Legends Z to A. But first, Drix, what is this groove?
We are listening to a song called Triceratops Trot from Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo.
Ooh, Triceratops Trot. We are going to trot on through. We'll be back, CFM Radio.
CFM Radio.
Some say that it lives forever, this road that I lose you on every time.
I was going to say, dang, hit me with the Alan Wake.
Some say that it lives forever, this road that I lose you on every time. Some say that it lives forever, this road. It's not meant for me, the man only for you I see. Wake up, it's only a dream, a winding road. Now that you're in my bed, inside the dark chamber of my head, where I flip you over until you bend this road. Oh, don't you ever, don't let me go. Forever I am play and pretend. Forever, never wanting it to end. This message that you send to this winding road. It's just the beginning, only the ending. It's just the beginning, only the ending.
Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
That song was called This Road from Alan Wake 2, and if you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you can pick that game up for free with your subscription, so you might want to go on ahead and grab that. Have another spooky game enjoy this month.
Absolutely. Fantastic choice, too. Alan Wake 2. Great little game if you haven't played it yet. Definitely worth the download. And you know what? If you liked that track, you might want to also check out the OST.
Yeah, no, some cool sound design and a really fun kind of laid-back trip-hop beat, not your average chip tune. But, you know, I like to play some new songs here on CFM Radio, too.
And we're going to go back from playing a new song. We're going to remind you of our little mini report we did on Roblox and about how they banned a whistleblower that came out and said, hey, you know what, man, this place, it's a little bit unsafe for kids. These kids that you're advertising to, they're running into weirdos on this platform, and it's kind of a strange thing, right? And then they're like, hey, you know what, that's cool, ban.
Yeah, it's getting a little creepy out there if you're underage. Letting the creep in.
But listen, Driggs, it doesn't matter, because everybody's favorite primetime TV predator catcher, Chris Hansen, he made an appearance at CrimeCon Denver last week with none other than Michael Schlepp, the Roblox whistleblower, who was banned from the platform after raising the alarm on the shocking nature of Roblox and their negligence when it comes to enforcing their terms of service to protect their most vulnerable users. Now, here on YouTube, YouTube doesn't like to acknowledge that things like this exist unless you are explicitly a member of law enforcement or any sort of or an affiliated party, let's say. So we're going to use rather sensitive language when we're coming at this topic, and we're going to talk about it rather briefly. But the link to Chris Hansen's presentation at CrimeCon is in our description below. So if you want to check it out, you absolutely should. You should check it out for yourself, and you should see what he and his team have to say about it, because it is quite eye-opening. Because honestly, the negligence that they point out here is absolutely unfathomable, because the presentation itself is quite graphic in its themes. And that's what I said. Roblox and graphic themes, whoa, what's going on, right?
Yeah, that's the opposite of expectations, but you must really have a predator problem if Chris Hansen's on the case.
That's what I'm saying, because, it's very illuminating. And like I said, it's an illuminating follow-up from our previous story in which Roblox was perceived to be flippant in its addressing of this gross negligence as a corporate citizen. Because not only did it ban Michael Schlepp, but the only measure that Roblox took to combat the problems that he brought up on the platform were to, quote-unquote, enhance age verification and ban text chat for users under the age of 13. But, Drix, one of the biggest sticking points for me in this presentation that really made me do a double take, let's say, was the idea of Robux and the exchange of Robux, which is the cash currency on the platform. And like I said, users can exchange this currency with one another freely. And the ways in which they were discussing what people could exchange their Robux for, and how unregulated this market is in the content that it is distributing, could border on racketeering. And Chris Hansen himself says there's some civil liability there. And you know what, Drix? I think I tend to agree.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't speak up on the subject anything video game related, really, if there wasn't something sketchy going on underneath.
Because I'll tell you what, Drix, it's a very interesting thing. You ask anybody who's actually really big into crypto, and the funny answer they give you to the most stable cryptocurrency is Robux.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah. So when push comes to shove, Drix, and when you take away the veneer of whatever Roblox is, you can kind of see that this market is this unregulated and open market is rather shocking to just have access to the wide age range of users that it has at any given time.
Yeah, really. Could be anybody behind that little Lego-looking avatar of yours.
Especially since one of the games that they talked about on this presentation was called a game called Public Bathroom Simulator, in which users can engage in acts that one could perform in such a setting with users of all kinds without restriction.
Okay, I've heard of Roblox games, but come on.
So, again, we're not going to really go too deep into the presentation. We encourage you to check it out for yourself at whenever you're able to. It is about an hour, but this is one of those things. If you're a parent, or if you're somebody who their little brother or a sibling or a cousin or maybe someone's friend, a friend of yours and their kids, their family time has to do with this, you might want to bring it up and be like, hey, not for nothing, but Chris Hansen is saying something about this.
Yeah, if you or someone plays Roblox, give them a little fair warning and be like, hey, so do you know what they're talking about at CrimeCon?
Yeah,
which
CrimeCon.
It was the first day I've ever learned that CrimeCon exists.
Yeah, seriously. When I was looking that up, I was like, whoa, CrimeCon, huh? All right. But that is the skinny on Roblox. Just kind of like we were saying, just kind of a follow-up on our original story that we broadcast a few months back. So
yeah, not just a one-off event with isolated weirdos. Like, we got Chris Hansen talking about Roblox.
and man, I'll say it like this: the amount of victims that his attorney colleague, who was on stage with him, was talking about is absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah, that's too much. It's way too much.
Way too much.
You should not be having that much,
I mean, one is way too much, but the things that and the tactics in which Roblox as a corporate entity uses to let's say deter attention from such a subject is absolutely disgusting. So take a look.
Yeah.
Absolutely might want to take a look if you've got kids, or if you know somebody who has kids, or if there is somebody with children that you love in your life. You might want to raise the alarm, because there's a lot in this presentation that they go into, because even children under constant surveillance and monitoring were able to utilize this game and be victimized. So,
yeah, needs to get cleaned up.
Gotta get cleaned up. But you know what, Drix? That will be it for our video game news, because we have a game review to talk about.
Yes. Yeah, let's talk about something more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Go for it, man!
And that is our review of Digimon's Story, The Time Stranger. Now, I played the demo, and I gave everybody my thoughts on the demo. I thought it was really cool. I thought Digimon game. It's a Digimon game. It's great. The graphics are fantastic. The premise is interesting, and the story and premise only get more interesting as you get deeper into the game and learn more about the turmoil that is causing the civil unrest in both your world, and you come to find out within the digital world itself as well. But truly, Drix, I was surprised. This game surprised me on multiple levels.
Yeah, good. Pleasantly, I assume.
Yes and no. And we're gonna start with the good. So I gotta say, you're seeing it on the screen right now. One of the absolute best parts of this game are the boss fights. The boss fights are big, they're epic, and even though you might feel as though the turn-based combat system of these types of games may be a bit slow or uneventful for you personally, I can say with confidence that these boss sequences are very engaging, very fun, and they are tense. You feel the tension because they employ a sort of Monster Hunter or Final Fantasy 15-esque system where the enemy will get a focus bar at some point that goes underneath their main health bar. And when you deal damage to them when they're charging up their big move, if you deal enough damage to deplete the bar underneath, then you will break them and you can like dogpile on them and get a free turn.
Yes. Yeah, that's what you want to do when you're fighting bosses.
But here's the interesting thing, Drix. One of the more interesting things about the game is actually the weakness and resistance system, because there is a rock paper scissors style system like there is in Pokemon. You know, like the fire beats water beats rock type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can see that a lot in different games. You know,
the layer that Digimon adds is there is a solid rock paper scissors in that you've got virus beats data beats vaccine beats virus.
Okay. Yeah, those are not common elements in RPGs, but that's really cool and fits the Digimon theme.
Exactly. So, and it's as a longtime Digimon fan, that is a classic trope. Virus has always overtaken data, and vaccines have always defeated virus, and data has always been able to suppress vaccine. So that is the classic holy trinity of Digimon. But the layer that they add on in this game, and I'll give it credit, all the other story games as well, is the elemental layer. So you also can gain an edge elementally as well. So fire can extinguish, or water can extinguish fire. So at some time, with some attacks in this game, you can be doing, and you're seeing it on the screen, you could be doing up to like 200, 300% damage with one attack.
Yes, big money, big prizes, big damage.
And it's really satisfying to really get the calculus going and really nail that weakness. And honestly, Drix, like I said, the boss fights are pretty tense, and you're gonna need them, because when they start charging up their big move, they actually might change their defensive typing on you.
Ooh, yeah. Give them the old switcheroo razzle dazzle.
As if like put up go into a quick block or a defense mode while they charge up, and to attempt to deter you from hitting them, because you and your team can also put up your guard in order to take these huge attacks.
Yeah, sounds like a smart idea, taking less damage from big hits.
Because some of these big giant hits, Drix, they will just one-shot your whole team. It's quite shocking.
Yeah, that would be bad.
It's very bad. And because man, oh man, you know, this is this game, one of the other really cool things, at least to me, your mileage may vary on this, but this is one of those games that really has that old school JRPG feel, where like you feel as though when you get to the end and you get to a huge boss fight, it sucks to lose.
Huh. Yeah, I bet. Nobody likes the feeling of getting wiped in a boss fight.
Because man, you're the way that this game really just makes you feel like your strategy just crumbles before you, and you can't do anything but like throw healing items on top of your team to just try to make them, last another. It's very old school feeling in that way, and I really do appreciate it. It makes the grinding and all of the tedium that surrounds the traditional JRPG formula feel less burdensome because of these huge bombastic moments. So the combat system and the boss fights, fantastic in this game. And the other great thing, the story. The story is great. I feel as though it's kind of funny because this game succinctly, it might not do it in a way that is satisfying to all audiences of a more mature persuasion, but this game very succinctly gives you, conveys its themes, and they aren't trivial themes. They are themes that are deep, depression, mental anguish, paranoia, alcoholism, longing, loss, grief. There's a lot of themes that get touched on in this game, but the core theme is individuals who come together in spite of their differences. And
That's beautiful.
you might think that, Drix, you might feel as though that is a bit of a played out theme today, especially in the wake of a game like Metaphor from last year.
The anime power of friendship,
But I have to give this game credit where it's due. These themes and the way they are conveyed is much more palatable and much less pointlessly esoteric and melodramatic than Metaphor. I got into this narrative a lot more. And again, full premise, I am a longtime Digimon fan, but I never really care about the Digimon stories in the video games per se. Even the last few games, these Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, I didn't really cling to it. But this one I clung to because its themes were given so succinctly. Themes of being, just because, themes of found family and themes of colliding philosophies and the battles that emerge from within the two philosophies colliding with one another. It makes this game feel more than the sum of its parts. And that is a very interesting thing to get from a Digimon game.
Yeah, definitely not what you'd expect as far as the conflict and friction that presents itself in a Digimon story, which is more or less like a cartoon that's supposed to sell toys, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very much so the Saturday morning cartoon, of the video game world. But I found myself, again, I played both games. I found myself connecting much more with the way that Digimon conveys its themes in a much more personal way, rather than Metaphor that tried to do it in a much more grandiose and world-spanning way.
Yeah, but it's like they're both anime games at their core.
Yeah.
But one felt a little more based in reality and sort of relevant to speaking of the times instead of a fantasy land with kings and castles and the like.
And even though Metaphor, I gotta give Metaphor credit, even though it does convey its themes well, it does use them to leverage melodrama and political intrigue that does not directly add to the reinforcement of the theme. Where Digimon, funny enough, everything is personal because it's a much more Persona-inspired game. Funny enough, the metaphor feels a lot more Final Fantasy, whereas this feels a lot more Persona.
Yeah, weird, but makes a lot of sense when you put words to it.
It's a very interesting game. So if you're into that idea, definitely check out Digimon. But here's the thing, Drake. A lot of people are really high on this game. I see this game getting 8s and 9s and 7.5s. It's kind of crazy for me as a Digimon fan to check this out and see that. And even though these other Digimon games like Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth have been good, I gotta tell you, Digimon Story of the Time Stranger is one of those games that when I'm playing it, the moment-to-moment gameplay, this is just the same. It doesn't feel meaningfully different than playing Time Stranger, than playing Cyber Sleuth or Hacker's Memory. This game does not bring back the Digimon, the autonomous Digimon style of combat, where that's reminiscent of the V-Pets, where like two of them meet and then they just kind of like circle each other and like you can cheer for them and like try to give them a command, but they're gonna like fight it out like they're actually autonomous rather than you giving them a move. So that's not in this game. It's completely JRPG, old school style. You have a tamer level, your Digimon have their own level, and if you've ever played a Digimon game before, this is the same, it's the same stuff. You get to a power threshold, whatever that might be. It might be a level cap, it might be the point where you realize your character or your Digimon's stats aren't really going up too significantly from level to level, so you de-digivolve him, and then you bring him back up. Like raise the base, like the bottom line, so that your top line is like astronomical. It's the same kind of thing, and while there are new mechanics and in lieu of evolution in the way of a personality system where your Digimon will ask you periodically about essentially life, death, the universe, and in between.
Yeah, the fire cat with your pet.
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty funny because your Digimon will be like, hey, what is love? And you'll be like, holy shit.
Ooh, what a loaded question.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, another one is like, would you be sad if I suddenly disappeared? I'm like, damn, bro. Like, what are you trying to say? Like,
yeah, man, I don't care if you're software. I'd miss you.
Yeah, right? Like, what up, dude? Like, so like it's a very interesting way to do to humanize the Digimon that you don't really see too much. It unfortunately doesn't add up to a lot. The personality system is essentially a system which dictates individual stat growth and puts the Digimon themselves into one of 4 essentially talent trees. The talent trees being valor, amicability, mindfulness, wisdom, and love, I believe, like kindness. And so like you have like 3 different personality types, and each of those, like wisdom focuses on your intelligence and spirit stat growth, valor focuses on your attack and defense, or your attack and HP growth. So you can really, if you're one of these min-maxing JRPG guys, you can really have a field day with this one. Because there's also Digimon evolution is non-linear. It's not like the rock guy needs to evolve into big rock guy. He could evolve into a guy with into an ogre with an axe, right? So it all depends on what you're doing. So you can get addicted to that. And if you've never played a Digimon game before, this is probably where you want to jump in. If you have played a Digimon game, you might want to wait for a sale.
Okay. This coming from the fan.
Yeah, because while this game is awesome, and I definitely think it's the best Digimon game that they've put out, like, in the last, let's say 2 decades.
Wow, yeah, okay.
It's still, the thing that got me was I'm about 24 hours deep into this game, And I'm like, damn, I really wish this had a Switch version, because this is just one of those JRPGs that feels good to play on the go. It doesn't feel like anything new. It doesn't feel like anything different. It feels like if you played the new Mana game, you'd get a similar experience. Or if you played, maybe Metaphor is more your speed, and you think that you like the JRPG Game of Thrones as opposed to Digimon allegories.
Yeah. But there's still that part of you that wants to take that digital world with you on the go into the real world, huh?
Yeah, and I personally think that speaks to the game design. Personally, I think that this game feels dated. Funny enough, much like Borderlands 4. Feels a little bit dated. It feels like the best possible version of what it's giving you. But what it's giving you is kind of stuck in 2010.
Okay. So not reinventing the wheel or anything.
No, not at all. And like I said, if you've never been into Digimon, or maybe if you the last time you checked out Digimon was when you were 12, right? And this could be the thing that brings you back. I definitely can change. I see this game. I see it all over the internet, changing hearts and minds, making new Digimon fans. So totally give it a shot if you think this is your cup of tea, and definitely give it a shot if you want a more free-form style monster raising game. But if you're a Digimon fan and you played all these other games and you're eagerly awaiting this one like I was, unless you're a diehard, just wait for Black Friday.
Yeah, or set those expectations super on par.
Yeah, because this might be, it's the biggest, it's the baddest. You've got a lot of great options, and there's a lot to chew on in this game. The game is huge.
Well, that's good.
But it's just another Digimon game.
Huh. Yeah, so don't let any of the extremely positive reviews hype it up too hard for you.
Especially if you're a Digimon fan. If you're a Digimon fan, this is definitely, if you're a Digimon fan and you thought Digimon Survive was kind of and you thought that Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth were good, but maybe they're just a little bit old school, you're gonna feel the same way about this.
Right about the same.
It's about the same. So, you're a Digimon fan, I would wait for a sale unless you're a diehard, but if you're a diehard, you probably already bought it.
Oh yeah. It says Digimon, add to library.
Yeah. But if you haven't played Digimon before, or if you fell off the Digimon wagon, give this game a shot. I definitely would even try to would grab it at full price. It's not a bad game. It's the main campaign. I'm getting over 20 hours out of it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, and you've actually played it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic little Digimon game, and if you really are gonna get into a monster raising game, I do feel like this is probably the more rewarding of the two games. Pokemon Z to A, great stuff. Urban areas, but until we see that new battle system and actually see what it can do, I'm not holding my breath. This game it's the best version of all Digimon, this current era of Digimon game, and you're getting probably one of the best and most thought out stories in Digimon, and the variety of Digimon in this is very, very good. There's a couple of weird choices that I found, but that's for the super fan.
Oh yeah, you really made it into this game, huh?
Yeah, it's you made that, huh? Or you didn't make that, huh?
Ooh, surprises.
But
everyone is here except Waluigi.
Yeah, except Waluigi. Everybody is here except Shoutmon X7 Superior Mode.
Baddie.
But that is Digimon Story of the Time Stranger, and I do believe, Drix, I will give this a 3 out of 5. It's a very solid game. Definitely want to be picking this up, but if you're not a fan of the JRPG, this isn't going to change your mind. If you're a Digimon fan, you're wanting something more or new or something refreshing, it's probably not going to change your mind. You probably could just play Hacker's Memory again and get a similar experience.
Okay. Good to know and good review.
Thank you very much. And I do believe that is where we will close things off. But man, oh man, this has been a great show. A lot of big news. We've been away for a little bit. News has been dropping. That's why today we decided to give you the deep dive.
Yeah, went into overtime a little bit too, making sure we get all the details out in our game review. Because, it's been a while. We want to do our due diligence in our game journalism, and that includes our game reviews for you, the listeners.
Absolutely. Because, hey, we got video game music, news, and part of the news is giving you our opinions on the latest games when we can do it. So, and then on top of it, Drix, this whole Game Pass thing, this whole Xbox thing, hey, I totally brain farted and forgot to take a picture of my local Target's display. But if you're listening to this cast right now, we want you to take pictures of your local Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, Best Buy, any of these retailers. Take a picture of the Xbox section. Send it to us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right here on YouTube. Post it, Pastebin link, an Imager link. We want to see it because there are conflicting reports of Xbox being pulled from shelves.
Yeah, are they still on shelves, and are they hiking up the prices the way Microsoft wants them to, or are they just throwing them on clearance and trying to clear out what stock they have?
We want you to check it out, and if you also have been listening, please give us a like. Hit us with a subscribe. Ring that little bell. We love when you do that.
Yeah, ring my bell, and CFM Street Team, go.
And that'll do it for us tonight on CFM Radio. We'll see you next week.
Yes, thanks for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of your October. We'll be back next week, and of course I'll be bringing out some spooky music for the season. Hit me with your requests anywhere. You can DM us, comment, drop them in YouTube, Facebook, wherever you follow CFM Radio and Clusterfucked Media.
And remember, everybody, play more games.
CFM Radio.
Good night.